Today we're going to look at a feature that we just rolled out that allows you to have more control over how your minimum and maximum prices are set when you list your products in ScanLister. Now these minimum and maximum prices are sent to Amazon, and they're used as guardrails for your pricing. They can help you prevent high pricing errors if you set them intelligently. Additionally, they can be exported to use in your repricing software. If you go to the settings menu and you look in the pricing tab, you'll see the default setting for your min and max price is simple mode. Now this is how ScanLister has always done things. So if you don't want to change anything, you don't have to. Just leave this alone. Or you can set these in a way that makes sense to you, and these min and max prices will be sent to Amazon for every product that you list. If you are an advanced user who wants more control, you have the option of going to the advanced mode. You'll see there are a lot of settings, but I want to break this down. The minimum price setting is going to be this top section here. What you can do is select a base price to use for your minimum price, and then from that, you can add a positive or negative dollar amount or a percentage multiplier. Let me explain how that works. Basically, let's say, for example, we want our minimum price to be our buy cost, which is the price we purchased the product for, plus our FBA fees. That's going to get us pretty close to our break-even point, because if we paid $5 for a product and our FBA fees are $10, then we have a cost to bring that product to market of $15. Now, it's not quite exact because you have packaging, your warehouse costs, and things like that, but it gets you roughly there. So let's choose that as an example. Presumably, this is pretty close to our break-even. What we can do is say, well, let's set a percentage. Let's choose 20%. Now we're setting our minimum price 20% above our cost of bringing this product to market. This leaves a little room for some of those other expenses, and that minimum price will be automatically calculated for every product we list based on the specific costs of that product. Now let's talk about the maximum price. It is good if you can rein those high prices in. As we all know, if your price goes too high, you'll get high pricing errors. Amazon will decide the price is too high, and then you go into a mode where you have to fix that error before your product is available for sale again. You have a stranded inventory problem that you have to deal with. To avoid that, it's good to set a high price that's reasonable. For example, let's take the low used buy box price and set our max price to be $10 above that. We could choose $20 minus 30 above if we like, or we can base it on a percentage, but this will at least give us a good starting point for a maximum price. Now, down here in this lower section, this is a backup price. Let me explain what this is for. Let's assume you chose the used buy box price as your starting point for the maximum price. Well, what if there is no used buy box for that product? In other words, the data is just not there in the API. Maybe there are no other sellers, or maybe Amazon has taken away the buy box. In that case, you would use your fallback prices. Anytime a data point is missing, you would fall back to the $1 and the $100 price in this case, or whatever you set these to. It'll act as a backup in case any of your chosen data points are missing. There are countless examples of how you can customize this. Now there's a little danger here. You have to really make sure they're set correctly. Your minimum price must always be below the price you're selling the product for. That makes sense, but with these settings, if they're not configured correctly, you can wind up with a problem where your minimum somehow gets calculated higher than your list price. If you do that, you'll get an error in the API when you list the product. You don't want to have that problem where you have to correct 30 or 40 items in one batch. So just be very careful when you set these. Make sure that your maximum price is always going to be above your listing price. If you do that, you're going to be all set. As another example, if your strategy is to target the buy box, you can set your minimum to be a little bit below it and your maximum to be a little bit above it. So you can see how these prices are being calculated by looking here. You'll see the columns for minimum and maximum. Now, if you want to manually edit a price, you can just simply double-click it, and you can put whatever you want here. Okay, so if I want to change it to something, I can easily do that without having to go back and reconfigure my main settings. To see this in detailed mode, you would just list the product. For example, we'll go into detailed mode, and now you can see this is a case where there is no used buy box price. You can see what happened was the minimum and maximum used our fallback settings that we configured. So if we close this, I'm going to show you how changing those settings will change the pricing. Now let's set our rule to be based on the new buy box price. We'll close this, list the selected item, and now you can see the calculation is based on the new buy box price of $44.99. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how this feature works. It's an exciting new feature that creates opportunities to do better with your min and max pricing, so we would love your feedback. Let us know what you think, and happy listing.